Emerica is a pure skateboarding brand. It has one of the most raw skateboard video catalogs of all time, and the team over the years reads like the Skateboarding Hall of Fame. Guys, I'm Levi, this is Shred Shop connecting you to skateboarding, and today we're gonna tell you the story of Emerica footwear. If you guys like skateboard history like we do, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment so we can give you guys the content that you love. Let us know below, what was your favorite Emerica video ever made? A long time ago, before there was ever such a thing as a skateboard shoe brand, a French fashion company called Romero starts a footwear brand called Ethnix. The word Ethnix was a play on the word ethnic. It was a nod to skateboarding as a subgenre. Soon after that, they get a lawsuit from a shoe company called Etonic, and they decide to change their name to Etnies. French freestyle pro Pierre-Andre was a pro for the brand, and he started working for the brand. In 1989, Pierre retires from pro skateboarding. While in the United States, he starts to distribute Etnies around there. He also owns the USA side of Etnies. This makes it the world's first ever skater-on shoe brand. Etnies continues to grow and become a powerhouse in skateboarding. In 1995, Romero gets bought out. Pierre is worried about his stake in the Etnies brand, so all the shoes that he's ordered to distribute in the US for that year, he relabels them as Etnies Emerica or Emerica. He was so worried about the changes happening at Etnies that all the shoes that shipped in the spring of 1996 were labeled with Emerica. That brought an end to Etnies in the United States. While the ownership of Etnies is bouncing around, one of the companies that's interested in actually buying it and taking over is Nike Footwear. Luckily for skateboarding, in the fall of 1996, Pierre takes entire ownership of the Etnies brand. S Footwear also launched in 1995, so Pierre was left with 3 footwear brands underneath the same umbrella: S, Etnies, and Emerica. From there, they try to give each brand its own personality. Emerica is recognized as the raw, straightforward, simple skateboard shoe brand. It's interesting to note that in those first years, since Emerica launched as a covert side brand to Etnies, there is an identical sister shoe on both Etnies and Emerica. The Emerica logo was designed by a guy named Yogi Proctor. He also was a huge part of the identity and the brand at that time. He designed the Emerica E logo, and as well they had kind of a Target looking logo at the very beginning. They were going to launch with that, but then they decided that it looked too much like the supermarket giant Target. For all you boxers out there, you guys seen the new EVERLAST logo? Seems a little familiar, doesn't it? It's funny because after Skechers and other big corporate brands were ripping off different S, Emerica, and Etnies shoes, they decided to make their own knockoff joke brand called Sheep Shoes, ripping off Emerica S and Etnies models. They named the brand Sheep because they were following S, Etnies, Emerica, but the goal was to sell them for much cheaper. So they made them in cheaper fabrics like canvas. What they didn't know is all of the duties bringing in canvas into Emerica were so high that after those costs, they ended up being the same price of all the suede and leather shoes on S, Etnies, Emerica. Don Brown said that Ed Templeton, while writing for Sheep Shoes, made him a painting, and at the bottom it said, "And the sheep will be led to slaughter," which is ironic because later that year, Sheep Shoes ended up having to close, so. In 1997, Emerica lets out their first video, Yellow. It features some big names that you might not have known used to ride for Emerica. Guys like Donnie Barley, Jamie Thomas, John Cardiel, Tim O'Connor, Mark Johnson, Andrew Hoben, and Adrian Lopez, amongst many others. In 1998, Emerica launches their first pro model shoe. They do it with Mark Johnson, and they call it the MJ1. These became an instant cult classic that people have always been asking for them to re-release. They did eventually do a re-release of this in a small run. They called it the OG reissue. It's also interesting to note that Jake Phelps from Thrasher magazine always seemed to have his hands on these because he was always wearing them. Maybe Emerica produced a very small run-in just in his size for him for the rest of his life. This was followed up by Templeton, Reynolds, and Chris Sen all having pro models right after that. A fun fact, Jamie Thomas' first pro model shoe he ever had was on Emerica, and he designed it by drawing it on a piece of paper. They made up samples based off of these drawings for Jamie. When he got the samples, they made them in the wrong size. They didn't fit him. He gave them to Eric Ellington, said, "Here, you can have these." There's a few tricks in Eric Ellington's Welcome to Hell video part that he's wearing these. It's funny because the first samples had the name Janik on them, not Jamie. So these got the nickname the Janik. Jamie later leaves Emerica to join the roster at Audio with Audio founder Chris Miller. Etnies later signs a virtually unknown kid from Lakeland, Florida, Andrew Reynolds. Around this time, footwear brands tended to have these massive teams that didn't really have much cohesiveness or culture or identity. You can see this with Air Airwalk at that time. They had about 100 people around them. So Emerica brings on Justin Regan as the team manager to sculpt the identity of the brand. Justin sits down with Heath Kirchart and they plan out a smaller, more focused, like-minded team of skaters. One of their ideas, they snag Reynolds over from MATISSE, and in 1998, the Reynolds 1 shoe drops. This is the first of a long partnership that Andrew Reynolds has with Emerica. In that same year, along with his first pro model shoe, he has a part in Birdhouse The End. You know that video? It's crazy. And he wins Thrasher Skater of the Year. He goes on to drop the Reynolds 2 in 2002, the Reynolds 3 in 2007, and over the years, he drops many other pro models like the Reynolds Lights, the Reynolds Cruisers, the Reynolds Mids, the Reynolds Classics, and the Reynolds Lows. He also launches a clothing brand called Altamont Apparel with his friend Justin Regan under the Soltech umbrella. If you guys love skateboard history, we're all about it. We want to give you more content like it. So like, subscribe, and comment so we can give you what you need. And if you're on other platforms, follow us on them all at Shred Shop or me personally at Levi Switzer. In 2003, Emerica releases This Is Skateboarding, maybe their most iconic video of all time. This video has a crazy lineup of Heath Kirchart, Austin Stevens, Ed Templeton, Eric Ellington, Chris Sen, along with their power ams, Kevin Spanky Long, Brayden Hoben, and Tosh Townend. While they're filming for this video, Emerica rents them a mansion in Hollywood Hills. After that, it's dubbed the Emerica Mansion. It's interesting to note that in this video, Reynolds skates to a Jimi Hendrix song. Emerica gets the rights to this song to use in the video by donating 200 pairs of shoes to 2 different schools in Seattle. The year after that, they go on a world tour and they launch the tour video, Kids in Emerica. It's an inside look of what it's like to tour with the Emerica team. All of those videos were all produced by a guy named Jon Miner, who is a legend filmer in the skateboard world. Some of their other tour videos were Wild Ride in 2007, Stay Flared in 2015, that one was featuring the Kai team, a Wet Hot American Summer Tour in 2018. Some of our favorite other videos Emerica did was Young Americans, which featured Cater, Victor, and Zach Allen, Green in 2020 with Dakota Servold and John Dixon. They had This in 2021, which was Figgy, Colin Provost, Eric Winkowski, Spanky, Chris Weimer, John Dixon, and many more. In 2010, Emerica releases Stay Gold. You've probably heard of it. What's more iconic, Stay Gold or This Is Skateboarding? Fight each other in the comments. Stay Gold is Andrew Reynolds, Brennan Westgate, Aaron Susky, Colin Provost, Leo Romero, Jamie Tansoni, Jerry Sue, Spanky, Herman, Marissa Del Santos, and many more. In 2013 and 2016, they had Made Chapter 1 and Made Chapter 2 drop, which was also Reynolds' last video part for Emerica. In 2019, Reynolds announces that he's leaving Emerica after such a long-standing partnership. The breakup is amicable. We also want to make sure that we mention Kevin Spanky Long. He has had a lifelong career with Emerica. He got picked up while he was just a little kid riding for City Stars. He blows up at Tampa Am and he becomes skateboarding's it child. He ends up on Baker and he has one of the standout parts on This Is Skateboarding. He later falls off a little bit, gets mixed up too much with drugs and alcohol and partying, and he loses his pro models on Baker and Emerica. After a few years hiatus, he comes back with a vengeance and he's putting out footage gnarlier than he's ever put out. We feel like he's a very important part of the DNA of the brand of Emerica. And most recently, he's re-releasing his first pro model shoe with Emerica, the KSL. Now we have to talk about the mystery of Heath Kirchart. He's been a huge part of the DNA of the brand, yes, but he's also been a part of the background, the inner workings of what's happened at Emerica. Heath Kirchart was on Hookup Shoes, and when that implodes, he jumps over to Emerica Footwear. And early on, when Justin Regan was brought on to make up the identity of Emerica, the first conversations with Heath decided some of the first team riders. He had legendary parts in This Is Skateboarding, Stay Gold, and Minefield. There's also lots of folklore around what Heath Kirchart did when he wasn't on a skateboard. Rumor has it that he used to work side jobs while he was a pro. People said that they ordered a pizza, and when it was delivered, it was Heath Kirchart holding out the pizza. One thing that's not folklore though is that he had a side job leasing out vending machines to different places. After his famous ender in Stay Gold, where he back threes the mega ramp with a broken collarbone. That's right, he tried it, broke it, went back up and did it and landed it. He retired from skateboarding on top.
I don't know, it's probably like the most amazing feeling I'd had in skateboarding. Just because it was the end too. It's like, oh, like I'll never have to film another trick if I don't want to. I'll never have to be scared again. on a skateboard.
He then came back as the Emerica team manager. It's safe to say that Heath has done a lot for the brand of Emerica. More recently, Emerica has released this video featuring Figgy, Colin Provost, John Dixon, Eric Winkowski, Spanky, Julian Davidson, Dakota Servold, and more. Emerica is in a good place right now with lots of up-and-comers. They've always done such a good job at highlighting their AMs. So they put out a new video just this year called Emerge. It features Matisse Bank, Jordan Powell, and Brayden Hoben. We just want to give a shout out to Brayden. We feel like he is a big part of the future of Emerica. He really fits the brand. And if you watch him at the recent SLS Resurrection contest where they recreated Hubba Hideout ledges, he absolutely annihilated every top pro that was at that contest. Everything was first or second try, while most people just walked away with one trick, and he walked away with 10 hammers for tricks. So we think he's got a bright future for Emerica, and you better look out. He's gonna win all the money everywhere, always. As you look back over the rich history of Emerica, you can always see that they've had a heavy dedication to skateboarding and some of the most tight-knit, well-curated teams. They're doing a lot for skateboarding, and they are a core brand. We're thankful for them. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm Levi, this is Shred Shop connecting you to skateboarding, and this was a brief history of Emerica footwear. What was your favorite Emerica video part of all time? Down there. Stay tuned for Comment of the Week. Oh, we got a spicy one for you, my friends. It's on our Story of the Leap of Faith video on YouTube. It's from my frenemy, Harry Ascrack. He says, I saw Bam Margera from Jackass try this gap. Listen, bud, no you didn't. Send us footage of you doing that, you Harry Ascrack.